Sometimes emotional disconnection does not look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like two people who still love each other but no longer know how to reach each other emotionally. The conversations became functional, the warmth reduced, the friendship faded, the little moments of connection slowly disappeared, and after a while, the relationship starts feeling emotionally distant, even though the marriage still exists. Thankfully, this is not always the end of the story. Some couples really do reconnect again. Not perfectly, not overnight, but slowly, intentionally, and genuinely. Hi, I'm Dr. Jane, a counseling psychologist, and this is Life of a Nigerian Online Counselor, a space where we talk about real relationship struggles, emotional patterns, and healing in a way that actually makes sense. And today, as we round up this Emotional Disconnection Series, we are talking about how emotional connection can actually be rebuilt after a period of distance. And the truth is, many people think reconnection happens through one big breakthrough moment. Most times it doesn't. Couples usually reconnect through repeated small moments that slowly bring emotional warmth back into the relationship. And after emotional distance, many people genuinely want to reconnect, but they no longer know how or what the process should look like. So let's talk about some of the things that often help couples slowly rebuild emotional connection again. Interestingly, emotional closeness is not only rebuilt during serious conversations. Many times it is also rebuilt in ordinary moments too. Now, one, small intentional daily connection matters more than people realize. This is one of the biggest things couples underestimate. Many people assume emotional reconnection must happen through one dramatic romantic experience. But honestly, connection is usually rebuilt in very small daily moments. Sometimes it's hugging your spouse intentionally for no reason. Sometimes it's sending a message during the day saying, I'm thinking about you, or I hope your day is going well, or I miss you. Sometimes it's pausing, whatever it is you're doing for a few minutes to just sit and talk. Sometimes it's saying, you mean a lot to me, I appreciate you, you've been trying, and I see it. Sometimes it's praying together again, laughing together again, holding hands again, checking in emotionally after stressful days. And at first, some of these things may feel awkward, especially after long periods of emotional distance, but that doesn't make them meaningless. Emotional connection is often rebuilt through repeated moments of emotional consideration, not perfection, not grand gestures, but consistency. 2. Reconnection often feels unnatural at first, and this is something many people do not expect. After that period of emotional distance, intentional closeness may initially feel unfamiliar. Even simple affection may feel awkward, not because the relationship is fake, but because emotional distance creates unfamiliarity over time. Unfortunately, this is where many couples give up too quickly. They try briefly, it feels uncomfortable, and they assume this is not working. Meanwhile, emotional reconnection often requires people to stay emotionally present long enough for warmth and familiarity to slowly return again. 3. Sometimes action comes before feelings, and this is another important truth. Many people wait to feel connected again before they begin acting intentionally towards their partner. Interestingly, in many relationships, the intentional actions need to come first. The conversations, the effort, the kindness, the emotional responsiveness, the quality time. Over time, emotional closeness slowly begins to grow again through those repeated experiences. So feelings are often sustained by patterns, and when healthier emotional patterns begin to return, connection would slowly return too. Now, number 4, reconnection also requires emotional risk. And this is another reason emotional reconnection can feel difficult. For many people, after experiencing disappointment, hurt, emotional distress, being emotionally open again can feel risky. Sometimes people are afraid of being ignored again, being hurt, being disappointed, or trying and feeling rejected again. And as a result, many people begin to protect themselves emotionally. Unfortunately, emotional walls may protect people from pain, but it blocks closeness. And this is why emotional reconnection often requires vulnerability again. Someone has to soften up. Someone has to try again. Someone has to become emotionally available again. That doesn't come easy. It takes courage. 5. Sometimes couples need help rebuilding. Now, there are times couples need support beyond trying on their own. Love alone does not automatically teach people how to communicate better, how to repair conflict, how to reconnect after long-term emotional distance, or how to rebuild emotional closeness intentionally. This is one reason therapy can be so helpful. I remember working with a couple where the emotional disconnection had already become really deep. They were constantly irritated with each other. Almost every conversation turned into conflict. The emotional closeness was gone. At some point, the wife had emotionally checked out so much that she no longer even wanted to work on the marriage anymore. I imagine the man to feel the same way. Not necessarily because she hated her husband. She was simply emotionally exhausted and disconnected. But as we began working together, something interesting started happening. Not through grand romantic gestures, but through small intentional emotional shifts. More openness, more emotional responsiveness, more self-awareness, more intentional moments of connection. And honestly, within a short period of time, she came back smiling and said, "Dr. Jane, I don't know what kind of juju you are doing, but it's working." And we laughed about it. Yet, what was really happening was that emotional reconnection was slowly being rebuilt again. Thankfully, today they are doing significantly better emotionally, and I've seen this over and over again in therapy. And that's something many people need to understand. Some relationships really do find their way back, not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because two people slowly begin choosing emotional connection again. One conversation at a time, one repair at a time, one intentional moment at a time. Rebuilding emotional connection is not always easy, yet it is often possible when there is honesty, willingness, consistency, emotional safety, and efforts from both people. And if you've been a part of this Emotional Disconnection series, thank you for being here. I truly hope these conversations have helped you better understand relationships, emotional patterns, and yourself a little more deeply. If this series has spoken to you in any way, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Dr. Jane, and this is Life of a Nigerian Online Counselor.